it's Nate from Outdoor Extreme here. I'm here at the Konza Prairie Biological Preserve near Manhattan, Kansas, and I must say there's a lot of people here today. I was not expecting it. I'm normally here and there's like nobody here, but there's just a crazy amount of people today. So I don't know how much filming I'm going to be able to do, but we're going to do some hiking and hopefully we'll have some fun. Running down to the Riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. Is this movie that I think you like? This guy decides to quit his job. So I'm here at the start of the trailhead here, as you can see, Konza Prairie trailhead. So I don't know if you know a lot about Konza Prairie Trail, but it's basically run by Kansas State. It's to research the biological areas of the prairie, so it's pretty cool. I got about 6 miles planned, so hopefully the large amounts of people start to kind of thin out by then. I'm still down here, kind of track those turkeys up into the woods a little bit, just having some fun. There's a ton of them out here today. There's a lot more over here. You can kind of see them through the trees there. I don't know if you can or not, but as you can tell, I'm kind of sick today. I got a lot of phlegm going on. It's not sounding good for my voice right now, but kind of show you what I have planned for today. This is the list of the Konza Prairie trails here. Like I say, I think a lot of these people are probably just going to end up doing the nature trail coming up past this big hill here. I'm planning on doing the whole thing. Going to do about 6 miles of Godwin Hill loop here. So hopefully a lot of the people kind of thin out once you start getting past this nature trail and start getting into the Kings Creek loop. But I'll let you guys know. Might actually end up coming up here trying to find these turkeys and maybe getting a couple good pictures. So a little bit off the trail here. I'm on a little bit of a service road, but I had some really cool experiences with some turkeys here. I was actually coming around here trying to take some pictures of them, and 2 groups of them came in the middle of the service road and started fighting. So it was a really cool thing, especially got some pictures of. I'll probably insert some into the video here pretty soon. So I'm starting my ascent here, if you want to call that, if there is ascents in Kansas. But this hill does kick your butt. I know, especially when I come here in the winter, because I'm the kind of crazy person who comes here at like 30 degrees, snow on the ground. But especially if you're sick, this is really kicking my butt here. So that's kind of the start of it, and it goes up pretty high. I'll have to take some pictures, but they really burn all of this in here. This is normally, if you come here during the summer, this is all just prairie, grasses and everything. This is crazy that they burn all of this. It's starting to come up. That's where we're going, that ridge right there. And that's kind of the end of the nature loop, so I'm hoping that's where most people end up stopping at. But I'm just amazed at all of this that is burnt. I mean, this is all normally prairie grasses. I am so surprised that they burn all of this. So pretty actually excited, because I lost my keys here during the winter, and maybe I'll find them, who knows. So it's a little windy up here, but we made it to the top of the ridge, and it is ghastly up here. You can see all the controlled burns going on. Hopefully the wind isn't drowning me out too much, but the climb did kind of kick my butt a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Got a little winded, especially because I am sick and full of mucus. So, but it is very nice up here. As for my keys, however, it looks like they stopped burning right by where I lost them. So it's not looking too good for me, but that's all right. I got replacements already anyway.
That was when I was younger, didn't know what I had, I missed. feeling every single way. I'm feeling ain't no other way. I won't let you go. I mean it, believe it. Oh, I won't let you go. Believe it, I mean it. Oh, I won't let you go. I mean it, believe it. Oh, I'm feeling I'm feeling I'm feeling I won't let you go. Ain't no other way. I'm feeling I won't let you go. Every single way. I'm feeling
So with that beautiful view of the Kansas River over there, we're going to start dropping off of the nature walk route and start into the Kings Creek loop. So hopefully some of these day hikers will start to kind of drop off and we'll get a little bit more of the trail to ourselves. So, as you can kind of see, we're right here. This is the nature trail that you can go here. I believe it's about 2 or 3 miles. So as I was hoping, a lot of people seem to be dropping off and continuing on here. So I'm going to continue on this Kings Creek loop here, and that's up that way. So hopefully we can get a little bit more of the trail to ourselves than anything. So now that I'm kind of more alone, I'm not going to be annoying people with my commentary. I didn't want to ruin anybody's hike or walk or whatever you want to call it, but this is a little bit more what I'm used to here. There's nobody past the nature trail today, and there's just beautiful prairie grass all around me to either side, and up on top of these hills here you get a great view of everything around here, really. So it's a little bit more what I'm used to, and I can talk a little bit louder even though I can't because I'm sick, so got a lot of mucus if you can't tell. But I want to talk to you a little bit more about what exactly loop I'm hiking today, what the Konza Prairie is. I know I said a lot in the beginning of the video. I don't know how well that turned out. So the Konza Prairie is a biological research station run by Kansas State, as I mentioned before, where they research the environmental effects of different things on the prairie. Out here in Kansas, the prairie is pretty important to them, obviously. So it's pretty important to research the effects on the grass and climate change, or whatever you want to call it, and how things are affecting the environment around us. There is a bison herd, as I said, on the prairie here, but I believe it's a lot far more east. So hopefully when I get to that end of the trail, it'll be pretty, maybe we'll see some, maybe we won't. So yeah, but there's 3 different hikes that you can do here. It's very good for family and friends, or people of all ages, really. There's, as I mentioned before, there's a nature loop, which I believe is about 2 miles or so from start to finish. And then you get into the Kings Creek loop, which is more of an intermediate trail if you're feeling up to that. And then the Godwin loop, I believe that's what it's called, is what I'm doing today. I believe that's more of about a 7-mile trail. Like I say, I went off the trail a little bit into one of those service roads, so my All Trails map might show a little bit more. I'll show you a screenshot or something of the All Trails at the end, what I actually ended up doing today. But all in all, it's an amazing place for people of all ages and all skill levels if you're trying to work on something else or just get out and see just crazy views like this, or have a beautiful day like today. It's about 55 degrees and sunny, and this is what's going to cure my sickness, is what I believe. So I will shut up and start to enjoy my surroundings. Come to the end of this Kings Creek loop. Well, not the end, but the end of where we're going to go. We're going to continue on to our Godwin Hill loop here. It's going to look like that. So looks like a pretty easy trail to go down there if you're in the intermediate route. But you say that all of Kansas is flat. I don't know what will prove you wrong besides this right here. It's not mountains or anything, don't get me wrong, but over here in East Kansas, there are some really nice views. I'll give it to them. Definitely more than what I was thinking. Don't get me wrong, if you start getting out to West Kansas, yes, you're never going to see anything like this. It is completely flat, but out here in the east, towards Manhattan and Flint Hills, you can get some pretty good shots, some pretty good views, and some pretty good elevation, I guess you could say. Started on the loop portion of it. We're going to start coming back around and I believe heading back. Not sure how much of this is. On my mission to see an American bison, however, it's not looking too good. I was kind of curious because on this part of all trails, it says that there's trails that continue in through here. But you definitely cannot go that way. That is the actual trail that you want to go to, and that says do not enter, that says research area, that says turn around, that says definitely turn around. So I guess we're not going to go on that one. Started on the back trail of this loop here, and there's a nice little pond in here. Until I started coming over here, there were a bunch of frogs and stuff that were chirping at me. So just a little nice thing off this trail, about 5 feet. Stop and maybe take a little bit, try to find a frog or two. As you start coming down the trail more, you can see there's a big cluster of trail or trees right down there at the base of this hill. That's called Kings Creek. That's a part of the loop that you can get off right before the Godwin Hill loop. And there's a creek that runs through there, which is why there's so many trees that pop up. Apparently it's pretty cool and pretty wooded down there, so pretty excited to get down there and explore that. So starting our descent here. It's actually a pretty good hill that you have to go down or up, depending on what side of the loop you decide to take first. But you can see the creek right here starts to run through, and it just starts all these trees in here. So we'll see how this creek turns out to be. We might get some water in it. We had some pretty good rain this week. We shall see. So this is where the Konza, or the Kings Creek trail comes in. It looks like it's got some pretty good elevation going in through to where it intersects at the beginning side of the trail. But as I predicted before, you enter in and you pretty much try to crawl along with this stream here to your left, or a creek, I guess you can call it, since it is Kings Creek. So You don't get to cross it like you do on the other trail, but
you take me higher now, so that we can feel brand new. 'Cause I know that this could be a good night. I know that this could be a good night if we wanted to. And I know we're headed for a brand new day. Oh, I can see it falling into place. Oh, 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 oh. And I won't let it go away.
5 feet off the trail, a little bit further up, you get this really good view of Kings Creek here, and I just wanted to pay attention to that color in there. Such an interesting color. Not really sure what makes it that kind of color, but I don't know if it's a combination of the slate around here or leaves decomposing, or I don't know. I honestly really don't know what it is. So if you have any idea why it makes this kind of color, just put that down in the comment section, I guess. We'll continue on. Don't really have too much more commentary to put out, so guess I'll flip the camera around here and show you a little bit more of kind of just what it's like to start hiking this.
We can have it. Yeah, this whole world's up for grabs. So won't you take me higher now, so that we can feel brand new. 'Cause I know that this could be
As you start coming down towards the last leg of your trail here, there's a really good view of this creek here. It's got a little bit more depth at this point. You can't keep going on that side. Again, it has a bunch of stop signs. Like I mentioned before, this is a biological research station, so they don't want you everywhere, just so that it keeps it as natural as possible. But this is a really nice area here. Also, got some buildings which I'm not quite sure what they are here for. They look pretty cool if you're into that rustic type of feel. Got a little bit of a balcony hanging down there. Maybe I can get some more information if there's some signs up here. I know towards the end of this trail here there is supposed to be a picnic area. However, I don't think this is it. This says some sort of hay. So, I don't know. There's some benches down there. Maybe this is what they mean by the picnic area. They can pull up all trails here, and although I'm not sure that would show me exactly where it would be. No, it's not really showing me. Well, it looks like we have about 0.6 more miles to go before we hit that ridge that we were on at the very beginning. So who knows? We are about to get onto the nature trail portion of it again. Looks like this was recently burned. It's starting to get new foliage in here growing. So we shall see. Another good view though. So, I'm looping back here because there were some people passing. I didn't want to be rude and talk while they were trying to do their little hike, but I think that's really cool up there. This is that scenic route that you can take, and it's not as long. It's probably about 2 miles. But I did find out what that little group of houses were. There's a homestead called the Hawkinson Homestead here, along with these restrooms here. So that right down there is a homestead. I'm not sure why, but it's there. I just can't get over that though. It looks really cool, especially with this all being burnt like it is. You can see everything. Very cool. As I said before though, we're getting back onto the last leg of this, which is the scenic trail loop. So there's going to be a lot more people on this portion as opposed to when I was completely by myself on the other two loops. I just can't get over how cool this is. With it all being burnt, you can see every single little rock that lines these ridges in here. That little sign all the way up there is restarted on that ridge. It looks as though we're coming to the end of the trail loop here. We're going to get onto the main trail that takes you to all of the loops here pretty soon. There's a lot of people, as I mentioned before, as you get onto this scenic loop of the 3 trails. It is short and easy for people to run, and easy day hikes for people of really all ages and abilities, to say the least. So right there is the main trail that gets you onto here. I'm gonna turn this camera off so I'm not disturbing anybody. And we are back to our main loop here. The original sign. And here's that service road that I ended up taking a couple 100 feet in to look at those turkeys. Less people here than I was expecting. It is starting to get later. It is about 4:45 in the afternoon now. I think I started out around 2 o'clock. So about 3 hours for 6 miles. Looking for a photo opportunity. This bridge that crosses Kings Creek at the beginning of this trailhead here is really as good as you're gonna get. Whether it's sunset behind you or just during the day. This bridge is very cool. And there's our parking lot. Looks like my car is still there, so it didn't get stolen. It's always a plus. Well, here we are. Gonna open up the door here. We made it. Believe it or not. Throw that over there. All right. Well, I had a lot of fun going and hiking the Konza Prairie Trail. We'll look at exactly how many miles we did here on all trails. It's coming up as 6.9 miles. So, like I say, I did do a little bit of a off-trail excursion on one of those service roads to get some pictures of the turkeys. But all in all, pretty good trail. It's not a lot of elevation. That beginning part of it does kind of kick your butt a little bit. But after that, it was very low elevation. It was very steady going. It's typical Kansas Prairie Trail, I guess you could say. So, didn't get to see any of my bison. Maybe next time, or I'll find another trail that has some bison on it. I'll take you guys with me. So, until then, this is Nate from Outdoor Extreme. I'll see you guys later.